YouTube. So friends, before we start, if somebody wants to bring some water and keep it next to you, you can please bring some water and just relax yourself. All right. So hello friends, welcome all once again. Today we are on the special session with wonderful friend whom I met very recently through our wonderful Yana, and it's a pleasure in having him here. And he has so many experiences that we can all learn from. And the soul food which he is going to give us today is really going to benefit us, where we can again and again, I'm telling the same thing, that where we can implement so many things, because hearing is only not important, implementing it is very much important. So inspiration from the masters and implementation, the ways they have gone through, is very much important, friends. So let me welcome my friend, my new friend. I call him my new friend. His name is Juan Gonzalez, and he's from Salinas, California, USA. And I want him to share about his journey. He started coming into the spirituality. He began his path into spirituality in the year of 2010, and from now I'll ask Yuan to come forward and share his more experiences. Yeah, please welcome Yuan. We're very happy to have you here today.
Yes, thank you. I'm very happy and excited to be here with you all to share this space. Um, so, as Madhu mentioned, so I started my awakening a little bit before. It was around 2010, 2000, the end of 2009, and I was in a place of questioning myself and my beliefs and um, just my relationships in general as well. I'd undergone a lot of traumas and experiences through my life, which held me back immensely from figuring out what I wanted to do in life. Um, it wasn't until my sister back in 2010 was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer that things just started moving forward. Unfortunately, um, she did not survive, um, but it was from her passing that was a major catalyst for me to really begin my journey to further awakening to my true self. During that time of her after her passing, I was just experiencing a lot of things where she would come to me and I would feel her embrace, and waking up in the middle of the night and feeling the warmth of a hug as I would wake up from a dream where she gave me a hug. And that whole time, several months after she passed away, I was experiencing nightmares of her dying in my arms. Um, and with every night, with every dream, she would seem as if she was just decomposing more and more in my arms. And I would wake up almost every night with my eyes swollen because I was crying so much in my dreams. There was a lot of resentment, a lot of anger that I had towards my family during that time that I just didn't know what to do with. It wasn't until Father's Day, that's the year, um, um, that year of 2011, that I had this immense experience where I was laying on my bed and staring at the wall. And I just started crying because everything just seemed so overwhelming. My anger, my resentment, and so much was filled in my heart that was just weighing on me so much. So at that moment, the whole environment, the whole room just changed. It was as if a mist had come through and everything just shifted. And my sister's presence came through. And while she didn't speak, our hearts connected. And it was as if I understood what it meant to forgive and release the hate and to come from love. And from that moment, I wasn't able to experience hate and anger as I did previously. So from there, that's when I really started putting in my time to meditate, looking at things, researching. And one of the things that really called to me was shamanism, the practice of shamanism. And so I would, I started asking, I started meeting people, and I started joining groups of meditation and just started questioning. And then also my friend, my mentor at that time, Susan, who was really tough on me, would always ask me, what are you, or I should say, what is it that the answer is within you? She would always refer me because I wanted the answers, and I was seeking the answers outside of me. But what she was always pushing me to do was find the answers within and to trust those answers as they came through. So, of course, that took some time. And over the years and further experiences, I started to develop myself more and more and come from a different place as I moved forward. And during that time, I had two kids, um, and I was with my wife at that time. And so we grew our family, we adopted children, and we had children of our own. Um, so fast forward in 2015, it was a really rough year for us, and we decided, mutually decision, for us to separate. It was that very same moment we were both putting away laundry, and we looked at each other and we acknowledged that it was time. So we embraced one another and understood a separation was needed. From there, 2 months later on my birthday, I went outside in the middle of the night and I looked at the stars. And on my birthday, there's a meteor shower that happens every year. And I asked, God, who do I need to become so that I may bring forth more of who I am? And well, sometimes what you ask for is what you're going to get. And sometimes it's not going to seem like what you expected. And that is with a lot of things, the expectations. So I was pushed away from, I wouldn't say pushed away, I was guided away. So I moved away from my children, and I started living my life differently. And I started realizing that there was answers within me that I needed to follow through with. And there was things for me in life that I needed to start develop and understand that what isn't for me cannot sustain me, and what is for me will always nourish me. So I was beginning to develop that discernment to know that what no longer serves me, I have to release. or be in a better place of accepting what happened to me based on my beliefs, based on my traumas, based on anything that I experienced in the past. For what we experienced is already there. It's about what we can do to look at them and perceive them differently so that they do not occupy our heart space in the way that they have in the past. So really now I started meeting more people and I started to develop myself differently, started practicing yoga a lot more. I started my shamanic practicing and I I was a Reiki. I did Reiki and I did a 1 year, it's called the medicine wheel for Peruvian shamanism. It is a medicine wheel. It's based on the four directions, north, south, east, and west, each providing an element. And what we were doing is we were releasing old stories, old beliefs, and each element and each archetype, the serpent, the jaguar, the hummingbird, and the condor, provided us with insights within ourselves to release the stories from within us and also to forgive our ancestors before us because we still hold on that lineage and those stories that they held on to. So what we are doing is not only healing ourselves, but healing our ancestors before us so that they no longer weight us down so that we can become more of who we are. So after that medicine wheel, um, I started a new job, which had me traveling a lot, and I was in a relationship which I knew I shouldn't have been. It wasn't until I went into this retreat with Paul Selig that I realized that the information came to me, and they said, one, you have to leave the relationship, and two, you have to leave your job to be who you want to be. I'm like, well, okay. So one week and a half later after retreat, I broke the relationship and realized how much I had needed that relationship to find validation and self-love within myself. So that was a journey to find myself in a way that realizing why I sought relationships and what my connection with the relationships, how inauthentic I was, because I was seeking ways to fill myself selfishly. Um, and so fast forward a little bit and COVID started. 2 months later after COVID, I decided it was time for me to leave my job. And I left my job. And now fast forward several months later, and during that time, joining Jay Shetty Certification School to be a life coach, which has been an incredible journey. This is where I met Yana and some other incredible individuals. Fast forward, and now knowing, coming from a different place now, because I have really reflected on many, many things. And one of those things is knowing that the answers are always now knowing coming from a better place that the answers truly are within me. I just have to believe them and have faith in them. I have to trust those answers. And so now I'm at this point in my life with some incredible people who I adore and have I open my heart to and express love to them. Um, Very grateful because now I'm also reunited with my children as a different person, um, and 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 really in a place of knowing that they have now a father who has tapped in differently, who is tuned in to his essence, and who can love them as they are, as their own unique signature. Um, so that is overall my story, and of course, there's one thing that I do want to mention is, and what during the time in the past before COVID started, and before I left my children, I had entered what's called, um, what I like to call the dark night of the soul. And it was a very dark period in my life where I was very depressed. And I felt very guilty for being in this state because I still had children during that time. And I felt lost and unworthy. Um, but it was this experience that allowed me to really see the contrast of of life. It allowed me to open up in ways that I don't think I couldn't have if I didn't experience that. So with that, with all that I've experienced and all that I've learned through the process of developing my own discernment, I'm here now today in front of you all, sharing these experiences. And now as a person that I truly love and adore and embrace, because this is who I am, and I'm okay with that. Yeah. So that comes to the topic that I really am passionate about, and this is one of the reasons why I joined the JSHI certification school, is to help people remember who they are, who they really are, because sometimes um, we project something differently. And if we are not in a place of integrity, of honesty, of accountability, um, and of openness to really question who we are, um, then we're only becoming the product of everything else that's going on in our life. And we're allowing everything else to steer us and not us steer ourselves. Um, so I did write a little bit of something, and this is what I really wanted to express in all of this. It's to remember who we are, we must begin to forget who we've become. We have to begin to question ourselves by asking if who we are is aligned with who we are at our core. Who we are at our core. Now just sit with that. Who are you at your core? And so what is that for you? It's our higher selves. It's our true selves. It's the calling within us that reaches out to you every day so that you can be the channel that you are intended to be, that is connected not only to your higher self, but that of God's source. Or if you want to say the universe, or just source itself, whatever it is that you believe that is that higher source. And so this is where we must learn to develop a discernment as to what resonates with us and what doesn't resonate. And discernment is learned by feeling into our hearts to find the true answer within that moment. And so one of the things that you may ask is, what if you doubt your heart's response? Well, this is where you begin to question yourself. And remember, you're not questioning yourself to push back. You're questioning yourself out of curiosity, to understand, to perceive differently, to change the angle so that you can see things in a different way. And so you ask yourself, why do I doubt my heart? What beliefs, memories, and patterns do I still hold on to, which prevents me from trusting and having faith in that which is my heart? This is where we all must learn also to be exemplary trackers of your path to your true self. We learn to track these memories so that they no longer weigh on us. And that takes time. That takes development. That's with anything else. If you have not been taught this from the beginning of your life, everything's going to take practice and everything's going to take patience. So if you really want the answer from those questions, we invite you to be open and gentle as you surrender to the answers. We also invite you to be patient as you learn to grow with your own discernment. There's no need to rush. Know your pace. Know that the rate at which you are moving forward is divine and timely. There's also no need to reach out for the answers outside of you, for they will come to you as you learn how to connect and be open to your higher self. You also have to understand that these memories, these experiences, the beliefs, the patterns that you are not without divinity. You cannot do away from these, as they will and are part of your growth in this realm of physical being. They are the contrast. They are the bitter moments, which allows you to fully appreciate the sweetness. Because regaining the memory of who you are with the experiences we have undergone is to find greater perspective within ourselves and to find greater connection, or to expand with our connection to God Source. So with that said, I'm at this point in my life where this is my truth. And I have experienced moments where I've struggled many times, but that was because I was not being honest with myself. And I just wasn't being in integrity. But that's okay, because we're experiencing life. Don't be hard on yourself. And while you may have a habit of being harder on yourself, know that is also a behavior that you can learn to shift, to change, to release and replace with gentleness, with more softness. Because there is still strength in gentleness. There is still strength in softness. We have to always remember that as well. And for me, it's always been, I've always had a knowing ever since I was a child, of knowing of something else. But because I lived in a family that was dysfunctional, with very limiting beliefs, I was a very empathetic child. And being an empathetic child meant absorbing everybody else's dysfunction. So I cried a lot. I cried for everyone else. And I cried for myself. But because I didn't have anybody to guide me in a way that showed me how to be more, how to be with my empathy in ways that didn't hold me back, I was lost for most of my life. I was wandering. I was almost in darkness most of my life, with a handful of lampposts that would help me, guide me. But it was between those moments, though, between the moments where I had the lampposts, those individuals with light that showed me a different the path. It was those moments in between, in the darkness, that now I fully appreciate why I was there. And so that's when we don't condemn ourselves for the things that we've experienced. We don't, healing doesn't happen for being harsh on ourselves for those things that we've experienced that weighed heavy on our hearts. It is those experiences that we have undergone, as I said, that really helps us move forward. We come here and we forget everything. And with time, we begin to remember. And those experiences are yours. You are the only one that has undergone that experience and have received that perspective, and no one else can. And you are the one that has done it in your own way. And that is precious. That is a treasure. So I just want you all to know that when we try to remember who we are, those things that we've experienced will not help us remember if we condemn them. Because when you condemn those experiences, you are also condemning part of yourself. Because those experiences, whether, and this is a little harsh truth, a little hard truth to swallow, I should say, those experiences are still part of you. But it's up to you to transform them, to change the perspective, so that, as I mentioned earlier, they're not weighing on you, so that you can become more of the calling inside of you, not only in the spiritual realm, but here, now, in the physical. And you live that as best as you can. Not in perfection, in the sense of, having that perfect spiritual being, but knowing that that is perfect, even with the flaws, even your mistakes, and even with those setbacks. Because we are still living the physical human existence. And we will have slip-ups. And we will make mistakes. And we will have to try again. And try again. And try again. And one more time, try again. For some of us. But that's all in accordance to what you hold. So the more work that we do to remember, to unlearn, the more that you will become, the more that the channel between you and your higher self becomes more cleansed, more pure, so that you can live that existence here now and share your perspective. Being in a place of always questioning in a really beautiful way. Am I in integrity? And trust the answers that come to you, because they are true and they are yours. Um, so with that, I believe for that's what I have to share. We can go to a little bit of questioning if you like, if you have any questions, or I can continue to share my experiences as well.
Wonderfully, wonderfully shared, Yuan. I can keep on listening to you. You're such an amazing soul, and I'm happy that I'm met you, and you have really nurtured us with your experiences, and you have shared such delicate experiences, very tender, very personal experiences that like it made us uh, like it touched our hearts. And as you said that every experience is leads to good thing, even if it is a bad incident happen, it leads to a good thing. It's really true. And you have said this beautiful point that in gentleness there is so much strength. Wow, that's a beautiful statement you have given, because many people think that being gentle is being weak. But you share that being gentle, you gain a lot of strength in that gentleness. And each and every point you have shared, Yuan, I really liked it, and it really touched my heart. You were like, like you were speaking from your soul. You're not just picking up here and there. You just spoke from inside, and it's amazing. It's really amazing. Thank you so much, Yuan. And thank you for making us remember who we really are. You gave us tips of how to remember our own selves, because these tips are very important, and you have shared with us today. Thank you so much, Yuan. And I ask our friends here. Yes, you want to share something, Yuan?
Yeah, I just wanted to, yes, and I'm very blessed. Um, and that's all I can express. And of course, I am going to guide you through a meditation
Yeah,
um, to assist you into knowing a little bit of that.
great. Thank you. I'll ask our friends if they have any questions. And before that, I'll ask Yana. Yana, you want to share something to our friend Yuan?
Yes, thank you, Juan, for taking the invitation to be part of this group and be here today. I I also got to know some new aspects about you today that I was not aware of. Your, as you both already mentioned, gentle way of sharing shows so much strength, that it is a proof in itself about the strength of gentleness. And your honesty and your sharing from the heart is incredibly inspiring, um, also to me. And I'm even more grateful that you are going, like that we're going to work together. And I just know that there is no other person that could be better in offering people to access the wisdom within them as a part of the CUTS program than you do. I feel blessed that you 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 said yes to my request for you to be part of this. Thank you so much for everything.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, Yana. Yuan, I see that you're on mute. Yes, Yuan.
Yes, so it looks like we have a hand raised.
Yes, we have Haweda. Yes, Haweda, please go
Mhm.
ahead.
Thank you, and so much for the nice experience. Uh, it touched me a lot
Mm.
because most of what you've said, it looks like my experience, and I started my journey, but I'm still confused. I didn't reach. I know that this experience, it's a lifestyle. We have to go on and on and on. But sometimes I feel good, sometimes I drop, sometimes I feel confused, sometimes I feel better. But if I compare myself with before I start my journey, I'm a different person. I have the awareness, I have the power now, I know myself more, I changed a lot, but there is still some weaknesses in me. I'm trying to help myself to be more courage to uh, to be able to be uh, detached, but uh, it doesn't help me. I always keep meditating. I started to study some courses for NLP, martial arts, yoga, and all these kinds. It helped me a lot, but I still suffering from the detachment. So this is one of the most um, important issue for me to help myself on that. But um, I most of the time I feel strong, and sometimes I feel very weak, and I don't know how to help myself. And in your journey, every statement you said it, it was from your heart. I felt it so much, and it touched my heart also, uh, because you are talking from your heart. This is one thing, and the other thing is your journey is similar to mine. So I felt it so much. So thank you for the uh, this wonderful session. And if you give me an advice how to help myself for to be detachment, especially for my sons, I'm doing meditation every day, but it didn't help me a lot. Thank you.
Mhm. Yes, and I thank you for having the courage to speak out and share your struggle. Because you see, as you do that, there's you understand that there is strength in that as well when you share and become vulnerable. So, from my experiences, I can only give you what I've undergone, um, and so we can take from that, and hopefully that you can take from that, because there have been moments where I condemned it all. I said, why am I doing this? If I still have this problem that's coming up, if I'm still struggling with this detachment, if I'm still having going into relationships that are not good for me, and I said, just leave me alone. I do not want to hear anything, and I it's almost a child pretending to run away in a sense, and but it's those moments that are really important, that what you are going through, know that this struggle, the suffering that you are experiencing is temporary. You won't be experiencing this forever, and the answer will come to you. And there will be a moment where it will be appropriate for you to feel that detachment, to feel the release. And it comes with time, and it comes with having that knowledge and having a perspective. And when you have the combination of it all, you know when you're ready to let it go. Because I have been in your shoes where I thought I was ready. My mind, spoke for me. I'm ready to let this go. I'm ready to heal this. I'm ready to move forward from this and move on. But I really wasn't ready. And I speak from this now, not saying that, not just allowing you to understand that where you are is where you need to be. Be with it. Speak to it. And allow those answers to just come forward. And just as you had the courage to speak and share with us, have the courage to listen to yourself for the answers that come forward.
Thank you. As you said, my mind is saying something and my heart is saying something else. And this is the struggle which I'm facing now. So thank you so much. Yeah, this is the fact.
Yeah, and here's something that I do, a practice that I learned is, in your meditation or when you're doing a meditation, you drop the mind into the heart. Drop the mind into the heart, and continue to do that. Drop the mind into the heart, and you will see a difference. There will be a shift. You drop the mind into the heart.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much for your advice. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Juan, for the beautiful explanation, and thank you, Haveda, for sharing your experience. Thank you so much. And friends, if you have any sharings or any questions, please unmute yourself and you can share. Ram.
Hi, Juan. That was a wonderful journey, hearing each and every word that carried a transformational energy. So very touching. The courage you had to share your life journey is really helping, and it touched my heart. So very thank you to you for being here and sharing that. And when truth just flows out of experience from the heart, it just paves way to everyone to undergo the same transformation. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ram. Yes. All right, friends. Then if you have no questions, shall we do a meditation, Juan?
Yes, we can start the meditation. Let me just prepare for that.
Yeah.
And so, what I invite you guys to know, or I shouldn't say invite, but what I want you guys to know is that I'm not going to put any music on. And the reason that I'm not going to put any music on is because I really want you to listen to the words and to have less distractions, because sometimes music can be a little distracting. And this meditation, what I'm going to have you do is come to a place where you connect to your higher self. And in this space, allow yourself to come from a place of love, and so that you can see things differently. So I call this meditation. I just this was created for this actually very. So I call this meditation the mountain peak. Okay. Okay, so let us begin to settle in. Placing our hands wherever appropriate, whatever feels right. Now, connecting to your breath. Feel the coolness as it enters and the warmth as it exits. And with each breath, you feel the release of tension. And with each exhale, you allow yourself to settle in deeper and deeper. And as you continue this breathing, we'll begin to set the intention. And what we'll be doing is we'll be connecting to our higher selves so that we can be in a frequency that is of love and above. When we are in this place, this space, we are better able to see things in a different light. We can make peace with whatever judgments, beliefs, sadness, or anger that comes up for you. And when we come to a better place of understanding these things, we are better able to forgive, to accept, and to move forward. With our intention set, we begin to visualize a mountain. Whatever you see as your mountain is appropriate for you. Begin to see the details of this mountain. What does it look like for you? What flowers are blossoming? What trees are growing? What rock formations do you see? Once you've taken in the view of the mountain, allow yourself to be guided toward a path that leads you to the top. The surroundings of the path all seem familiar to you. Everything feels like home. As you get closer to the top, each step allows you to feel lighter in your body and soul, almost as if as you elevate, you are being stripped away of the things that are currently holding you back. What you're experiencing now is your connection to your higher self, a growing connection, and the connection of God Source. The essence of who you are is now in vibrational accordance with that of love and above. You see the mountain peak, and arriving at the mountain peak, you feel your vibration raise even further as your frequency is tuned in into that of love. Take a moment to be in this place. You begin to notice that you are above the clouds, and you're noticing the sun shining sweetly on you. A closer look at the clouds, you notice that they range from lighter and whiter clouds to more dense and darker clouds. These represent the different vibrations you hold within yourself. If you take a moment to connect to the lighter clouds, you can feel their light and see the beautiful memories and emotions that come from them. These clouds hold a higher vibration than those of the darker clouds. The darker clouds, while they do have that lower vibration, remember, they are not necessarily bad. They are the memories, beliefs, and patterns you may currently hold and are not in vibrational accordance with the vibrational frequency which the majority of your body is vibrating at. Being in your current state of love at the peak of your mountain, you need not fear them. In fact, fear cannot exist here because your vibration is that of love. While the lighter clouds can be more appealing to observe, we are here to shine our light on a particular dark cloud that is waiting for you to call it forward. At this time, I would like you to see the light inside of you shine bright. See your body become more light. As you become more shiny, more brighter, let the light that's coming from you become the beacon in which you call this dark cloud forward. Visualize a stream of light that reaches out and brings this cloud forward to you. Still in this vibrational state of love as your higher self, you are neutral in its approach. Once it is in front of you, I would like you to take a moment to see it with gentle eyes and a soft heart. Now, take this time to connect with it. And take this time to ask, what emotion, what belief, what memory, what information is it showing you? Whatever comes up for you is appropriate. Now, I would like to invite you to be in a space to perceive this information it holds for you differently. Can you view this in a space of non-judgment? And be as objective to this information as possible. If you feel complete with this, I invite you now to take in 3 steady, deep breaths. With each breath, notice your heart center expand more and more. On the 3rd breath, allow the heart to open up like a flower blossoming towards the cloud. Allow it to blossom. Now, let's begin the process of expressing love to this cloud, expressing forgiveness, of accepting, and come from a deeper sense of understanding. By showing it love, forgiveness, acceptance, and understanding, you are raising its vibration. Take a moment to notice the change. Has it shifted? Is it changing? Is it lighter? And is it more fluffy? After you take notice of its changes, express gratitude for it. Be in a state of gratitude for this. Say thank you. Say thank you. Thank you. Now release it so it can reunite with the rest of the clouds. Now take the time to feel your own vibration. What is it that you're experiencing this moment? Has the shift of the cloud also shifted you? Has your vibration changed as well? Take this moment to connect to the change inside of you. With this experience, I would like to now begin the return journey. But we're not returning from where we came from. This time, in this moment, I want you right now to be reminded that the mountain itself is the representation of the Holy Trinity: spirit, soul, and body. You begin to notice the sun again. You are reminded of its warmth, purity, and light. And as you connect to this, you are lifted by it, no longer touching the peak. You are above the peak with the sun. And as you are lifted, the clouds and the mountains begin to return from where they came from. They return back into you. And now what is left is just you and the sun. The sun is a symbol of the purity of God's source within you. Again, you are reminded of your connection to that of God's source. You are reminded that you are whole and perfect exactly the way you are in this very moment. As you begin to take in this realization, you understand and you know this is something you can bring with you as you return back to your body. You're being called back to settle back in, to return to this body that you have, returning to the sensation of your breath. returning the sensation of your body from your toes, feet, your legs, your hips, your torso, your chest, your arms, your neck, and your head. Allowing yourself to wiggle your toes slowly, wiggle your fingers, and slowly and gently opening your eyes.
That was very deep, Yuan. Wow. No words. I have no words. Wow. Beautiful. Completely enjoyed. I mean, like, I wanted to stay there and in that safe place, in that mountain, above the mountain. It's beautiful. I found myself over there. And thank you for this wonderful guidance, Yuan. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So now I ask our friends if they want to share. Because friends, if you have anything to share, please unmute yourself and you can share. So there is one person from YouTube, Yuan. Her name is Georgiana. She says she needed to hear this, and she says, unbelievable, wonderful.
Hi, Georgie.
And there is one more friend from Egypt. His name is Sahar. He's watching us from YouTube. And he said, this is really a wonderful journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, and many are writing in the chat. They're expressing their gratitude for the guided meditation. Yes. Yes, Harita. Yes, please go ahead, Harita. Garu.
I love the meditation where it is. I really enjoy. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Yes, Archana.
Hey, Juan. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Archana here. So I think I went to sleep. It was so deep. Thank you so much. I usually don't go to sleep, right? I think I dozed off. Yeah, thank you so much. And myself coming from Indian culture, I have never ever seen any man, any boy coming out so open with their emotions that it really touched me. I'm very sensitive uh, and it really touched me. And it was like, man, even the men go through so many things, but I've never heard anyone. So since I've never heard, I don't even know that boys or men also go through so many things. I thought the vulnerable word is made only for ladies, for only girls. I thought, but and I didn't want to speak then because it was kind of heavy feeling. Also it was kind of appreciation, feeling like, yeah, you came out, you really need so much of courage. And I guess boys and men should come out, really should come out. They should be open about how they feel, how what they go through, what kind of emotions, because emotions doesn't know gender bias. Everyone goes through, but they never express. I've never seen, like, never heard from any, uh, even from my son, and I mean, no one actually. So hearing you was like an eye-opening experience. Uh, it's a it's a different feeling altogether, and I wish more and more men and boys can come out. They can speak out, because speaking out makes so much of a difference altogether. Just bringing it out of your heart, that kind of reduces the pain, at least temporarily. So yes, all in all, that was so nice of you to talk out so openly, and I hope more and more men listen to this, get to learn to express themselves. So yeah, thank you so much, Juan. It was a lovely session, and I could see to some extent, even at Ram's face, that how much he was touched. Uh, yes, it's really great for the first time. This is my first experience. We always say, right? There's always first time for everything. So this was my first ever experience to hear out a man speaking out so openly about their, or expressing their, all the emotions so openly. Thank you so much, Juan. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you, and I appreciate these words, and yes, that is, I agree with you. It's good to normalize men expressing themselves in other ways, and it is the balance between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So that is
Yeah,
one of the
actually, it
things
shows your
that,
strength. Actually, it shows a lot of strength to, to express ourselves. You feel, a lot of people think it's like, oh, you're crying, you're a crybaby, this, that, but it really requires a lot of strength to show your true emotions, true feelings. It's not a sign of weakness. It requires a lot of strength.
thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Yuan, and thank you, Archana. Anybody else, friends? Anybody else wants to share? You are a hero. Yeah. Uh, I think everybody found their answers, Yuan. Everybody
Good.
I think everybody are in that state. They're still feeling themselves. So wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Actually, I went to sleep too. When Mother is asking if anybody is there to answer, then oh, meditation is over. Then I came back.
it's okay. It's okay if you fell asleep. It's one of those things that I learned, that whatever you are experiencing during a meditation is what you needed during that time, and whether you were conscious to receive those words or not, there is still a benefit to it.
Very true. It's called even if you go to sleep in meditation, we in Sanskrit we call it as yoga nidra,
You and
which is
Nitra?
yoga nidra. Nidra is a sleep.
Oh,
Yoga is like a deep, very deep sleep. Like the sleep which you have in meditation is far better than the sleep which you lie down and sleep. So that's great, Rita. Yes. So
I came after when the session is done. I came after like 2-3 minutes back.
mm, nice. That's good. Yes. So I would like to thank you so much, Johan, for your time and for your beautiful energy that you have shared with us all, and we will cherish it. And as I told earlier, also we will implement it, and we will go back to that mountain whenever we need to find ourselves, and we watch our clouds, and we communicate with it, and we embrace the cloud, and we say thank you for being there, and now I want you to move on. So That's really amazing. Wow. Thank you so much, Juan.
No, and I just want to thank you and Yana and for this opportunity, because for me this is an opportunity of growth, um, to share who I am more comfortably with others, and not to be in a place of fear, and judgment.
Yeah. I will share my experience. It was the same case with me, Juan. Before coming into the path of meditation, I was very shy. I was scared talking to people because that was the way I was brought up. Like my father was securing me, and we were not exposed to the society, and we never did public speaking. But after practicing meditation, I found that everybody is me. Why we have to have fear?
Hmm.
So there is the same source, the higher source in everybody. And maybe we are all just wheeled up. Maybe we have all layers, but deep down we are all one, right? So when I realized this, then the fear dropped automatically. So,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah, I completely understand that now.
Thank you for coming up and being so comfortable and sharing this beautiful words. And thank you once
I
again.
will always remember this. I will always remember this.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And our soul is very happy with the food which you have given to us. I think. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you, dear. Yeah.
You're welcome.
So, friends, that was a wonderful session with our beautiful friend Yuan. And with this, we will be done with the soul food retreat. And from tomorrow we will be having a different soul food, which is meditation, and which is where different masters will be coming and guiding us into meditation. As from tomorrow till 13th, we have Master Shashank who will come and share his guidance into meditation, and later on a few masters like Sharu and Swapna and many more. So please do join us at the same time, and please utilize this, and please meditate, and always remember the teachings of all the masters, and share this joy with everybody, because when you are happy, you give the happiness around. So please do that, and let us all change the vibration, because we are at the end of the year, and let us utilize as much as possible being in with ourselves, so that the 2021 we make a great start, with a great resolution, with a new us. So thank you so much, friends, and do not forget that tomorrow morning we have Master Sunanda's session at 6 a.m. Germany time, which is 10:30 a.m. India time, and 7 a.m. Egypt time. So please do join us, and enjoy the meditations. Till we see each other, have a lovely day, a lovely evening, and a lovely night. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Yuan. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
Good
much,
night,
all.
everyone.
everybody.
Thank you, Ram.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
you,
See you, Anne.
Madhu.
Bye bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Bye
you,
Bye-bye.
to
Jan.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.